What up, everybody? The Iceman here on this Saturday. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Did everybody watch TNA Impact Wrestling last night? Um, I thought the show was okay. I thought it was pretty good. Uh, Again, they're short matches, a lot of segments, but a lot of the segments were very, very meaningful for the most part going through this UK tour. I was glad to see SoCal Val uh, ring announcing last night. That was very pleasing. And but yeah, so going into watching last night, I was wondering what was the actual reason for Austin Aries and Bobby Roode to wrestle once again, and it's just basically for Bobby Roode to prove that he is deserving of having a shot at the TNA World Heavyweight Belt. And of course, we all know that Austin Aries holds that briefcase for the opportunity to cash in whenever he feels fit to and go after the champion. And it would, you know, Austin Aries and Bobby Roode, along with probably Kurt Angle, as far as technical wrestlers go, are probably the three greatest technical wrestlers in the world today. Actually, um, barring any company, there's a lot of others out there that are as great as well, but they are in the top 20 on my list of being great technically. And it was a pretty good match, though I would have liked to seen a little bit more time allowed to this match, but uh, it was just one of those entertaining matches. And unfortunately for Austin Aries, Bobby Roode ended up getting the victory. And after the match, Bobby Roode raised Aries' arm and he clapped and whatnot as Aries exited the ring. And Eric Young snuck in basically and did a number on Bobby Roode. He pile drived him in the ring, and as the officials were taking Roode out of the ring, Bobby Roode again was pile drive by Eric Young and left motionless actually. So we're wondering whether or not we'll see Bobby Roode next week here on TNA Impact Wrestling on Destination America. Uh, but all in all, not bad. There was a lot of interesting segments that we saw, and uh, Kurt Angle confronting Lashley, telling him, basically that he thanked him, for joining Angle's team at Lockdown, and Lashley basically told Kurt, he goes, "I didn't do it for you, I did it to go after MVP." And Kurt Angle's putting up the point that he's going after the TNA World Heavyweight title. Excuse me. Um, so, and in essence, everybody is looking to get a shot at that belt. Gunner had his little segment when he was talking to Kurt Angle, stating that he wants to be in that situation, that he has proven that he can also be there as well. And and of course the Beatdown Clan basically stating that that's their job is to beat down people, and they're looking to get their hands on that TNA World Heavyweight belt. Uh, we did see a match with Madison Rayne coming out, praising herself in Glasgow, Scotland, and pretty much to the much of everybody's surprise, Awesome Kong came out and really totally annihilated Madison Rayne, and Awesome Kong basically proving a point that I'm here and I'm here for the Knockouts title. And we did not see the champion Taryn Terrell last night, but I'm sure we will see her probably next week or in the upcoming weeks. So this should be an interesting move here as well. Now, um, Ethan Carter III and Tyrus coming out. They had a handicap match. Ethan Carter donning the hair cutting tool, also with an arm brace on his left arm, in a handicap match with Mandrews, uh, Rockstar Spud, and of course uh, much to my surprise, was Jeremy Borash. And pretty much this match was pretty much, manhandled by Carter and Tyrus, but Spud, Mandrews, and Borash did get a little momentum going. It got to the point where Tyrus was outside the ring. Jeremy Borash jumped off the top rope and landed on Tyrus. They both were down. But Ethan Carter the third, doing his thing, taking it to town on Andrews and Rockstar Spud. The lights went out when Ethan Carter was ready to shave the head of Rockstar Spud, and all of a sudden in the ring was Mr. Anderson. So it was a nice surprise to see Mr. Anderson show up, and he sort of nollied the opportunity for Ethan Carter to shave the head of Rockstar Spud. My only thing here with Ethan Carter the third is I think he can be much bigger and much better here in TNA, and I think why are they having him waste his time doing what he's doing as he's doing right now? That's my opinion. I do think that he is a good commodity to TNA's roster, and somewhere down the road, I do believe that he could be good enough to be a TNA World Heavyweight Champion. But anyhow, uh, we also saw a segment with Brahm where he was in the ring facing Crazy Steve, but all Brahm wanted to do was call out Magnus. Steve had very, very little offense going on. Brahm really took it to him very quickly and sort of insulted him by, you know, beating him, kicking him, and whatever, holding the TNA mic, calling out Magnus. So it was a little insult to injury there for Crazy Steve. But again, and of course, Matt Hardy coming out to discuss the situation with Jeff Hardy, who was injured at Lockdown. Um, he talked about Jeff not having a gleam in his eye or not, raising his thumb to let Matt know that he was okay when he was injured. So Matt was very concerned. And Revolution's music hit, and they came out. And James Storm, of course, really showing some very, very mysteriousness and very, very much darkness in his stable at this point. And he's proving that he's got a stable that is very, very powerful and very, very energetic. He told Matt that he had two choices: one, to either join the revolution, or two, to end up being in a hospital bed next to his brother Jeff. Matt said basically the bed Jeff's in is pretty nice and started the beat down. And then Revolution just took out Matt Hardy. And like we all know that they can with, all the members in there. The Wolves came out and helped clean out the ring. And but it was interesting there as well. So I really enjoyed that as well. And also Kurt Angle, Bobby Lashley, going against the Beatdown Clan's MVP in Samoa Joe. Probably two of the best for the Beatdown Clan, but not before we saw the Beatdown Clan, pretty much take out Austin Aries. They were just doing a number on, pretty much anybody that they wanted to make sure that didn't get involved in this main event. It wasn't a bad main event, but as you all know, the Beatdown Clan is a group of guys, and I love Kenny King. I think he's great on the mic. I'd like to see him more involved in the ring, but I think we're going to see that coming soon. But Lashley and Angle held their own between Samoa Joe and MVP, but it got to the point where Kurt Angle was in the ring with the ankle lock on Samoa Joe, and it's sort of just, really distracted everybody else, and MVP ended up taking out Bobby Lashley and getting the 3 count, and this pretty much ended the show. But all in all, I think it was a very solid Impact. I was very pleased with it, And again, like I said, there was a lot of segments, but a lot of these segments they had a lot of meaning to them. And I think anybody that watched the show would probably agree with me. It was, to me, I've read a lot of reports from wrestling sources that they thought it was an average Impact, but for me, I thought it was, more than average, because I think everything that went on really meant something, and it's going to mean something in the near future. So anybody that gets the opportunity to check out Impact last night on Destination America, do so. I think you won't be disappointed, especially if you are a wrestling fan. It had meaning, it had purpose. So, anyway, happy Valentine's Day again to everybody here on YouTube. And my friend Jamie had mentioned to me about a movie, John Wick's, which he said was very, very good. So, I'm going to watch that this afternoon and just pretty much wait out the storm here in Connecticut. We got another one coming, 6 to 12 inches, 60-mile-an-hour winds coming into tomorrow. And so it's one of those days where, I went out early, got things done, and I'm staying in. So peace out, everybody. Have yourself a great Saturday, and we'll see you all next time. This is the Iceman, everybody.